Good morning. It's May 5th. We're looking at the S&P 500. We just have a 5-minute chart up here. So yesterday we had this kind of slow grind up scenario. We said at some point in the afternoon here, we said pretty much any over here as we started to move down here, we said we need to take out the, we had a KP like here and here, and we said we need to take those out in order for any lower to happen, and we didn't take those out. We started moving higher. We said breaking 1175 was a good hint for more. Back up into here. We had a couple of things to get through along the way. We eventually got all of that. We had 3450. I said giving that to 36 quarter. It probed the, within 2 ticks of that. We finally did get that break in the session here in the Globex, and then they continued to move it higher. No real big surprise there. At some point over here, we said it was really buying a pullback, and that we could try to scalp it on sell side, but the point here was really to buy a pullback for a move up. And so we got that, and then here's how the overnight went. You can see they came off of here, they probed to 65, they came off of here, they used this, they came up, they used this, they used key turns, they haven't come back here and used this. So it's a little tricky here today. There's not a ton of room on the upside here unless we can get through. There's some things to get through here. We need to get through this 7250, 68.75, and then of course we have these 3 prediction points kind of clustered right here together, which would open the door for more up here. But unless we can get through this, no, we're not getting any of that. And it's likely that even if they probe up into this area, that they'll want to bring it down for a bit. So depending on how it goes here at the open, we're about 30 minutes off the open. So depending on how it goes here, they could either bring it down at the open or before the open and then try to move it higher, or move it higher and then bring it down. So we'll just have to see which way this actually ends up playing out. Basically here, and then so 57 quarter hasn't been retested, so that would make lots of sense. And then this 54 area, they paused here on the way up, they pulled back right over here. So somewhere between, let's call it 53 quarter and 55. So somewhere between that. Really don't want to come any lower than that. If we come lower than that, we'll just have to see how it's what's happening in the moment there. And of course I'll be active in the chat there. And so if we do break that, this is key turns at 51.75, 52. What we could do is, if we do break key turns, we could use this as a sort of selling opportunity down here to this key turn or the CP down here. So maybe the best way to look at this would be something like a range, and that being the top of the range and this being the bottom of the range. And unless we break from there, so you want to try to be short as close to the top as possible, and that's aggressive depending on how strong this thing is. And then the middle of that range would be, let's call it 77. So it's about a 50-point range. So somewhere in here is about the middle, right in here. And so it's still very aggressive, but basically if you use this key turn and you short below it, long above it, and then if we break out, we've got more room to run. We've got back up into the 2900 area, even more. We'll just see how much we can get today. And then if we break down lower, there's some space to go. We've got 15, we've got down into here. So there's some decent gaps down here. So first things to get through, 68.75 and 72.25, and then a bunch of prediction points right there. And then we'll see from there, and I will see you in the live trade signals.